Hi everybody, this is Wade from Wade's Orchids, and it's January 2016, so it's time for our January update and tour of the greenhouse. Right now we're looking at a Dendrochium bicolosum. This is a really nice plant. It puts out a really nice display and doesn't take up a whole lot of room. It's a compact grower. I can't really call it a miniature, but it does a very nice job. The flowers kind of stink a little bit, but it's a nice thing. And there's right behind it here, this is the Bulbophyllum longissimum. There's so many things that start with long and with bulbophyllums that I get mixed up sometimes. But this has been blooming for several weeks now here in the greenhouse. It's doing a really good job. I'm challenged with the bulbophyllums because my greenhouse gets down to about 55, 56 at night during the winter here. And they really like things to be a bit warmer, but we're making do with it. There's been some leaf rot, but it's coming along. Here's something that very few people have seen. This is Stentorhynchus lichtensteinii. I actually know very well the man that discovered this and named it. It's named for Leon Lichtenstein. This does not have any of the flowers open yet, but it's kind of like a jewel orchid, in that it's a terrestrial. It's potted tightly in sphagnum moss, and it seems to be no problem with intermediate growth. It'll get by with Phalaenopsis type light. It puts out, as you can see, a really wonderful display of these reddish. You see only the bracts right now. There's the flowers are coming on, and we'll take a closer look at that later on when it opens up better. Over here we have I guess mostly the bulbophyllum bench, and there isn't a whole lot of activity going there. Going down the bench here, this is not a bulbophyllum, as you can see. This is Miltassia estrellata, variety Sweet Senorita. It's nearing the end of its flowering right now. You can see some of the flowers are browning, but it's lasted a long time. Beautiful plant, nice fragrance to it, just doing really, really well. Up here is my only equitant Oncidium, or Tolumnia, I'm sorry. Gotta get the camera up here so you can see it better. The flowers have been, these flowers have been in bloom on the right side there for well over a month. I can't believe how long the flowers are lasting on this thing. And it's got another spike that's open and two more spikes coming along. Really nice, rewarding plant. Down here, I did a little video, I think, on this, but this is Tolumnias that have been raised from flask and are now mounted on their individual pieces of cork, and probably not this year, but next year they'll start to bloom. Here's something that I did a video on fairly recently. This is, yeah, I have to look. This is Dyneema polybulbon, and we've got two different clones here. You can see the one on the right is more compact, and the one on the left rambles a little bit more. it's also a little further along. The one on the left there that has more flowers, that's variety Golden Gate, which has won a cultural award, and it's a very, very nice plant to have. Multiplies and just grows really, really well. Nice little thing. Moving on here, I brought these two plants down. On the left here, this is Ascocentrum Christinsonianum. That's on its first bloom, just starting to open up. It looks like it's got, oh geez, over a dozen flowers. I can't wait to see what's going to happen to it when it gets a little bit further along. But the flowers are kind of like a, let's call it a shell pink. Just real pretty thing. And this is Ascocentrum Mona Church that I've shown in previous videos. It's blooming again and doing a really nice job. Very floriferous little thing. Likes to flower. We'll turn around here and take a look at some plants. Oh my gosh, there's Sammy. Hi, Sam. I think Sammy wants out, so we'll pause the video for a minute, let him back out. He doesn't get in here very often. He's a little bit anxious about things, but he's surveying, so we'll pause it a little bit. Okay, Sammy went out and he's happy, and now we're looking at a Cattleya that I brought down that was hanging up. This is Cattleya persevaliana, variety Summit, which has an FCC AOS. It was blooming for, oh geez, almost a month now, and it had, I think, 3 spikes on it, and this is the only one that's left. But it's a very attractive flower, very nice plant to have if you can get a hold of it. It still commands a lot of attention, even though this award was given many years ago. I think it, oh geez, I'm not even going to make a guess as to when it was awarded, but it's an old award. This, I am sure, has been used many times in breeding. Just a beautiful plant to have. And now we're going to move along here and back. Okay, I have to confess, this is a problem child right here. This is Miltaceus shelobe, variety Tolkien, which has an AMAOS. And for some reason, if you can see closer on some of the flowers here, it seems that the dorsal sepal is at the base is trying to fuse itself to the petal, and I don't know what is causing this. Obviously it wasn't like this when the award was given out, and I hope that in future bloomings that it will be better. It's growing like crazy. I think I have 4 spikes on it, and there's like, geez, 7 or 8 leads on the plant. It's in a 2-gallon bucket right now, or nursery container. But we'll see what happens. Okay, now we're going to move along down here. Oh, just a real quick update on this plant right here. This is Psychopsis Hildos variety Mendenhall, and I showcased this on a video, and it's sent out a new growth last summer, and the spike is way up here, and I think that the spike is done developing, and hopefully we're going to start seeing some flowers from it. Here's the old flower spike, and it's still active and going to produce more flowers, so we'll keep you in touch on that. Here is Oncidium Heaven Sent, variety Sweet Baby. And we're doing a little breeding with that, where we cross that with Oncidium Twinkle. I think we could get some really nice small growing Oncidiums from it. In front of this is Masdevallias. Lots of Masdevallias blooming this time of year. This one right here, still doing fine. That's Masdevallia Golden Tiger variety Augie. And this one, this thing here is very impressive. This is Masdevallia Highland Monarch variety Golden Sunshine. And it's nice, large thing. In back of it, we have one that's starting to fade a little bit, but that flower's been open for over a month. So we'll forgive it. Over here, this is the first time this has bloomed for me. This is Masdevallia Vetchiana. It is one of the most beautiful orchids I have ever seen. It is just incredible. This particular one is, I believe it's variety Barbara, which has an AM AOS. And I've got 4 more spikes coming on it. So it's pretty happy, I think. And we'll move along here. Oh, back here, just wanted to show you this little thing again. It was in the last video. This is, oh, I have to look, call it age or whatever. This is Masdevallia Maui Holiday. Primary of Tonduzii crossed with Mendoziae. Very, very much warmth tolerant, tubular type flowers, but it's been in bloom for, oh, I'd say 4 months now, ever since I got it. And it's a beautiful little plant, very small. As you can see, all the other Masdevallias kind of dwarf it. But it's got a very nice trait in that the flower spike, I can show you on this one right here, if we can get close enough. If you see that flower there, and then in back of it is another bud. So it puts out 2 flowers on a spike sequentially. So the first flower will fall off, and then after a couple of days the next one will open up. And it makes for a plant that is seemingly almost always in flower and puts out a beautiful, beautiful show. Okay, now I'm going to turn around here. The Australian Dendrobiums are kind of taking a little break here. Some have bloomed and the flowers have gone. Here's a few that are getting ready to bloom, and one that is blooming. Really large flowers on this, but it seems that it's turning the dorsal sepal a little bit here. I'm hoping that it'll straighten it out, because that is really nice. That is across Dendrobium Regal Gillistan crossed with Speciosum. Here is Dendrobium Telecon, which is a cross of Kingianum with Hilda Poxon, and Hilda Poxon itself is half Kingianum. So it's got a lot of Kingianum in it. And here is Dendrobium Australian Artist, and it is in bud, but it's not opening yet. So we'll probably see that next month. But seems to be doing real well. Taking a rest this winter when I only water them maybe once a week, if that, and spritz them from time to time whenever it's not dreary out. But I keep them fairly dry, but not totally bone dry. Okay, now I want to show you 2 Oncidiums here. We're looking at, on the left, Oncidium maculatum, and on the right, one of its progeny, which is Odontocidium Big Mac, and that's variety Orchid Loft, which has an AMAOS. Both plants just absolutely gorgeous, blooming very, very nicely for me. I've got, let's see, maculatum has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, looks like 7 spikes on it. And that's real happy. I'm getting up to 20 flowers on a spike. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Likewise, Odontocidium Big Mac has got 3 spikes on it. This is from a back bulb division, and this is really the first time that it's bloomed for me. And now it seems that Big Mac does not branch as much on the flower spikes as what maculatum does, but it still sends out a really pretty inflorescence, and the flowers are fairly good size, much larger than maculatum, and really nice color. Plant that I set out here to kind of highlight a little bit. This is BC Maikai variety Louise, which has an AMAOS, and this plant is just starting to take off. I repotted it this year, and it's doing fairly well. I think I've got about 7 spikes, and most of the spikes have got between 5 and 7 flowers each. And it puts out a beautiful show. Each flower in and of itself is not, in my opinion, the best form that you will see on a nodosa type cross, but the way it just puts out the entire presentation is really beautiful. Sounds like the heat came on, so we'll have to deal with that a little bit. So we're going to move along now, and I want to show you another Cattleya. This is Potonera Sweet Amy, which has got, if you know Cattleyas, there's one of its parents is SL Psyche, which is a very famous thing, and has been used many times to make gorgeous, gorgeous orange and red and yellow hybrids. This thing seems to last quite a while. There's 4 flowers on this spike. It's the second time it's bloomed for me, and I'm very pleased with the presentation of the flower spike and the health of the plant, and the flowers are just beautiful. It is just really nice thing to have. Okay, another Oncidium in front here. This is Oncidietta Hula Pacao variety Volcano Queen, and it's got 1 spike open and another spike that's getting ready to open here. Doing a real nice job. Very fragrant plant. Just, oh my gosh, so incredibly fragrant. What we have done is I did a video on this, on breeding considerations, and this has been crossed to this plant here, which is Wilsonera Garnet Star. And we're hoping for flowers that are going to have nice fragrance, branch fairly well, and we'll have the nice garnet red flowers held in good form with probably a yellow lip on a lot of them. And both of these plants are fairly compact growers, so we're hoping for good results. So far, if you can see right here, that's the one I pollinated, and it looks like it's taking. So we'll see. It takes quite a while to really know if the flower or if the pollination attempt is going to be a good one or not. But I'm hoping. Down below it here is Cochleanthes amazonica. That's its first bloom, and in back of it you can't see there's another flower that's getting ready to come out. Really nice plant. These things are particularly gorgeous when they grow up and have like a dozen flowers open at once. Just absolutely incredible. Looking up here, we've got two of the dancing ladies. This is almost like its own orchid show right here. Two of the dancing lady Oncidiums. The one in the front is, I think it's Iwanaga, something, Iwanaga. And then in back of it here, we've got Colmenera Massai Red, which is in full flower finally. It's, my gosh, this thing has been blooming since, it's been blooming over a month. It's been, I'd say the end of November when it started opening up. So it's a really long-lasting flower. Flowers can last up to 6 weeks, and they open up over a long period of time. I'm going to have over 2 months worth of bloom on this, possibly close to 3 months of bloom on it. You can't ask for anything more than that. Just incredible. You see some spikes here developing, and that is from Oncidium. Yeah, I have to look. Excuse me. This is this is Oncidium illustri, and it's variety Tom's Leopard, which has an HCC AOS. This was awarded in my society and is named after a member of the society. Sorry for the camera flopping all around there. But it puts out a really nice flower spike, branched so well. It's almost like a Christmas tree when it opens up. There's another one up here that has 3 spikes. This had 2 spikes earlier, and now it flowered and flowered. And when I cut it off, I noticed that there was more spikes coming. So there's 3 spikes coming on that right now. Very rewarding plant. There's my one and only Nepenthes, doing real well, putting out nice large pictures there. And next to it is the traditional perennial jewel orchid, and this thing is getting ready to bloom. I've got a half dozen spikes, I guess, on it, and it's doing really well. Okay, there's some Cymbidium seedlings coming along, and this is more Oncidium intergeneric things here. Nice big spike coming on this baby. Look at that. That's going to put out a lot of flowers. That's Odonicidium catatente, which is an orangish flower. And now we'll turn around here and take a quick look at some things on the other bench. Right here, this is Dendrobium little green apples blooming for the first time, and there's another spike coming on it. These things can stay open 2 to 3 months, and very nice. Things in the Latoria section usually last a long time. Here is another thing. This is Dendrobium SOOS celebrates 50, named for Southern Ontario Orchid Society. And if you look, you can see that there's spikes starting here. There's 4 spikes on this one, and it will be blooming this spring, and that's a first bloom. A lot of these little, the smaller Dendrobium latoria things put out so many spikes at once. Here's another one. This is Dendrobium microchip, and you can see there's some flowers there starting to show color. Another one down there. I think I have 6 spikes on this one, and this is a 3.5-inch pot. Just beautiful, beautiful thing. That's also first bloom. Now, looking back here, this has been open a while. There's only 1 flower left, but I wanted to show it to you. This is B. cebonosa crossed back to Brassavola Little Stars. And I picked this one out to keep for myself. It's got nice big flowers and just nice purple highlights on the lip. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, and moving along here, this is another little plant that has bloomed for the first time for me. It was kind of a rescue plant, and it's just recovering enough to throw out a little flower spike now. And this is Cattletonia Keithroth crossed with Encyclia atropurpureum. Pretty, very dark purple flowers, nice form. The Keithroth managed to take its form and keep it prevalent on this. Beautiful thing. I've only got 4 flowers and buds on it now, but I'm hoping that it will have between 8 and 10 at least on a mature spike once the plant gets going. And moving along here, my videos tend to be long, and I can't help it. I've got so much to show you. These are some of the seedlings I got this fall that are coming on. They're doing very, very nicely. In back of it here, this is Dendrobium kingianum, and it's a particular variety because I know any of you that have seen kingianum have not seen it like that, but it's variety Silcockii. The flowers are much larger than kingianum, and as you can see, they're white, and it has purple markings on the lip. One of the easiest Dendrobium kingianums I have ever bloomed. The thing is just no problem at all. I don't need to cool it down that much. I back off on the water a little bit and it does its thing. Here's a plant that I did a video on, and it's still doing nicely, Dendrobium tetragonum. Nice miniature plant. We're going to mount that this summer, and I'll be doing a video on the mounting of it. Back here, before I get to the Cymbidium, I just wanted to show you, this is my Dendrobium amethystoglossum, and it's putting out some nice flower spikes here. I think I've got about a dozen flower spikes, and it's this is not that old of a plant, but when it gets happy, here's one that's going to be opening up fairly soon. When it gets happy, it gets real happy. Let's just put it that way. This is an old Cymbidium hybrid here called Cymbidium flirtation. For some reason, I've got several of these plants, and for some reason it decided that the flower spikes were going to be pendulous this year, which I don't think is normal. But it's still a very nice flower. It flowers, well, as you can see, this is December, 19th or 20th, or January 19th or 20th. So it blooms really just after Christmas. Over here's another plant with a spike. And these flowers last 6 weeks to 2 months. And we're going to swing around here. Whoops. Here's another Cymbidium. This is an unnamed hybrid that I got from our society. And I really wish I knew the name of it because it's a very pretty thing. This, as you can see, has nice upright spikes and nice color, just beautiful color. Moving around here, here's Frag, Persei, growing like a weed. And I've heard that in nature that's pretty much what they're like. This had one flower spike last year, and I'm hoping that it will have many more this year. Some other frags. There's another Cymbidium flirtation, and it's in spike there. Couple other things here. Here's a nice unnamed, well, no name Cattleya. I know it had to have a name at some point, but it's got suffered some effects from botrytis, which is a bacterial thing that affects the flowers, particularly on Cattleyas like this. But it's still beautiful. This has been open for quite a while, about 3 weeks. And nice fragrant plant. I've got 4 flowers on that, so it's blooming very nicely for me. And we'll finish things up here by looking at a few more Cattleyas. These are 3 Cattleyas that I got about a little over a year ago from Sunset Valley Orchids and Fred Clark. Fred does very nice breeding. The one on the left here is BLC Laughing Boy, and it puts out nice upright spikes. I've got 8 flowers on that, and it's doing a really nice job. I was hoping for some more flaring on the petals, but it is what it is. This one here has bloomed for me a fair number of times already. This is Potanera Little Toshi crossed with BLC Izumi Charm. And the flowers that you're looking at there are about 3 inches across, maybe a little more. Really nice red lip. It opens up a chartreuse color and fades as it gets older there. But very nice flower. I'm really glad I got that. And now all 3 of these are seedlings. Now this one here is Potanera Dream Circle. And I have to kind of hold the camera low in order for you to get the true effect of the flower, because it doesn't hold its spike up real high. But nice big petals, as Circle of Life is one of the parents, and it usually passes on these absolutely huge petals, and does a really nice job. Lots of work being done with Circle of Life, and that's just one example. Oh, another thing from Fred Clark here. This I think you've seen before. This little guy right here. I've got more buds in the way. But this is a true mini. And let me see if I can get the name for you. This is Beau's Apricot, which is Seagull's Apricot crossed with Beaufort. And this is the kind of thing that we expect from this. Very nice full flowers. This thing is just going crazy. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5, 6 leads on it, I think. And there's the one flower open right now, and there's 7 more flowers coming. So even though I only get 2 flowers maximum on a spike, it sends out multiple growths and makes up for it that way, and these flowers last for a nice long time. Really pretty thing. So anyway, that's about it for Wade's Orchids for this month, and hopefully you enjoyed things. Here's another orchid. This is an unnamed one that I've been trying to get named for a long time, but it's got a dozen flowers coming out there. Nice yellow flower produces on this thing. So next month is February, and as you can see, spring is already starting to poke through with all the spikes and things that are coming around. And I'm sure February will show us even more flowers and flower spikes as we move towards spring here. So, again, this is Wade from Wade's Orchids, and we will see you next time. Enjoy and happy growing. Bye-bye.